What's up, everybody? Crimson Typhoon 7 back with another deck profile. Today I'm going to let my friend Everest profile his Madolche deck that he got top 4 with at the PS5 tournament we went to. So yeah, I'll just let him get into it.
Yeah, it's a not too special Madolche deck. It runs the TG engine, which I kind of liked, but it's pretty standard otherwise. Played in a 52-man tournament. I don't remember what the overall record was.
You lost the first one, then won everything else in Swiss until you lost top 4.
Yeah, it was X2. I just don't remember how many rounds it was.
It was 6 rounds of Swiss, so that's what they told us.
Yeah, so I guess it was 6-2 I went overall. We'll just get into the cards. So pretty standard. 3 Madolche. I'm not a big fan of the card, but it's just really slow, but you kind of need that turn 1 setup. The way Madolche kind of works is turn 1 is your setup turn. If a monster stays on your board after that, turn 2 you OTK. That's all it does, so this is just your setup turn. Next 3 Angeli. This is the best card in your deck by far. It tributes itself. Whatever Madolche you summon off of it can't be destroyed by battle. So that monster is really hard to out, so it usually sticks on the board, and that's what lets you OTK turn 2. It's, just going to be Hootcakey summon normally, but... Then 3 Muse. This card, some people run at 1 or 2. I liked it at 3 because it's just kind of gas. It really enables your OTKs. And I just generally wanted to see this in my hand when I was going for an OTK. A lot of the time that's what I was searching that off of Madolche if I didn't already have access to an Angeli. Next 3 Hootcake, standard. And then 3 Gelato. I wouldn't cut this below 3, especially there's a lot of turns where you will resolve all 3 of them, and it's just having less than 3 would just make some OTKs not possible. TG engine, it's going to be 3 Werewolf and 1 Striker. Striker is the weakest card in this deck. Its main thing is just you set it turn 1, your opponent destroys it, you search a Werewolf next turn. That's kind of all it's here for. I keep it in because you can use it to synchro off with a Flying C just to get Flying C off your board, because that card can be a pain to deal with. But this card's an easy side-out target if you need one. And for spells, maybe double ticket, double chateau. Double chateau is pretty mandatory. I wouldn't cut one of these down. Double ticket, there's an argument to only have one of them. The big thing about Chateau is any deck making Ragna 0, though if your monster's attack or defense is different than its original, you can destroy it and draw a card. Having the second Chateau so you can just set over your first one so that effect's no longer in play is just really good. Plus sometimes there will be lines where you need to have a Madolche card in graveyard, and the easiest way to get one is going to be you have Chateau up, you're missing Gelato, search the second Chateau, activate it over the first one just to have a Madolche card in grave so you can use Tiramisu. MST, hate back row, just get rid of it. And then 1 Mind Control, 1 Book of Moon. Mind Control was an MVP card. I had a lot of games where I would just Mind Control, steal someone's stuff, normal Madolche to search, make an Exiton Knight, clear the board. That would kind of be it, just against, especially like Yugioh. I had a few games against Lightsworn where they just couldn't use the Lumina, and I just steal the Lumina. If you steal a level 3 with this, it's amazing, because level 3s are how you OTK. Just a good card. Book of Moon, it's a Flying C out. You always have to keep it in just because that card cooks your deck so hard, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's a good card. And for the traps, 1 Madolche Palooza, the only Madolche trap I was running. This was quite possibly my favorite card in the deck. I was so happy when I had this, because if you, for example, have Madolche in your hand, set this, next turn, normal, search, Palooza summon, that's your OTK. Just if I had hands with a lot of monsters, I would just try and Gelato into this, and then next turn you can just push so hard with this. Usually if your opponent, even like Trenchels or someone, you have this backup, you can just reset up your board and try again. Solemn Warning, Bottomless, Torrential, Compulse. Standard one-ofs. Compulse, I will say, I did not especially like. This card underperformed. I think I'm going to be cutting this, likely for a Fiendish Chain. And then triple breakthrough skill. This card is for artifacts, just because you can break through, negate the first artifact effect, or negate your Traptrix monster or whatever. Next turn they summon it off Sanctum, banish, negate it again. So that's pretty much the only thing breakthrough is in here for, but it did its job. Like the card. And then your I hate trap cards. Trap stun. If I could set trap stun first turn, next turn I'm just winning the game. You just flip that, just send all your cards in and go for it. It was a great card. Wiretap kind of just served as bad trap stun, but yeah, it did its job. I'd probably bump up the trap stun, at least in the side deck in the future. Go to the extra deck. 2 Tiramisu. Need this at 2, at least. It's probably not a reason to run 3, especially because H.A.T can shuffle it back, but it's your best card. 2 Levy. I have had this come up a few times, especially at the last event where I needed the second Levy. It's just a good card, especially if you end on these 2 and your opponent doesn't have Dark Hole. They have to choose which one to out. If you out the Tiramisu Levy, you just summon back an Angeli or summon next turn, just re-go for game. They get rid of the Levy and leave the Tiramisu. Well, now you're adding 2 more cards. If you have Ticket, H.A.T up, it's still just going to be game. So, just good cards. Plus, this is 18 attack, so it's just your biggest attack. Rank 3 for going for OTKs. 1 Alucard, never made it. 1 Invoker, made this a lot. It just summons your, what's his name, Gelato, and then if you can trigger Gelato effect, great. If not, you just need the level 4 Madolche body to make Tiramisu. 1 Engineer. If I can't go for game, I want to get just this and Tiramisu set up. It's just hard to out and just gives you a lot of follow-up for next turn. 1 Wind Up, never made it. 1 Dweller. I did make this a few times. I don't know, it's not amazing. Could be cut. 1 Diamond Direwolf. You actually have beast monsters with your Madolches, so I did have it come up a few times. Just make this and then pop my Hoot Cake or my Mew and just out cards that way, especially in like grind games. Exciton, mandatory card, just clears back row decks if I overcommit. Honor Arc, never made it. You could definitely cut that. Amati's, it was just to get the Flying Sea off the board. You can beat over hands with it, which is nice. I had that come up 1 time, but the card's kind of useless. And then Naturia Beast and Naturia Barkion. I almost never make these cards. I don't think I ever made Barkion. It just, if you can make that, then you were probably going to be able to just OTK anyway. That means they didn't have interrupts to stop you from getting to this, so it never would have mattered. Naturia Beast against Sylvans can be nice, especially just if they have nothing, just they can't really get to their big guys that easily without using spells. You don't make it too much. The synchros are very much flex spots that you could change out. We'll go for the side deck. Triple DD Crow and triple Maxi. DD Crow, best card in the side deck. I was putting 3 of these in most games. Hits the artifacts, hits Mermail, hits Lightsworn. It was just good. Maxi, often I honestly only had 2 of these in. The third one just I sometimes just couldn't find the room for. If I was against like Mermail, I'd put it in just because it's nice to be able to slow that deck down a little bit. But you're trying not to get past 2 turns with this deck anyway, so the Maxi doesn't matter as much. Triple Fire Hand, triple Ice Hand. These are nice because they can just get a body in graveyard to use off of Hoot Cake. But you could also use the DD Crow and Maxis for the same reason. So it's not that relevant. I had 1 game come up where the hands were really good, and that was it. Like, I honestly think I'm going to be taking these out of the side deck. I'd rather just have Trap Suns and the like in here. Then double Forbidden Lance. Just put this in against any trap deck just to be a little more resilient. And then last 2 cards, I had 2 Noblemen of Crosshead in here. These were supposed to be debunks, but my debunks just never arrived. They still haven't arrived. So, yeah, debunk is a good card because it stops Maxi, the Flying Sea, the DD Crow, artifacts. Like that card is what this should have been. I would not actually run Nobleman. I don't like it, but Demonk's a good card. Overall experience with the deck, if I didn't get Flying Seed, I won. If I did, I lost. That was the general rule of thumb. That card, I just wish I was more prepared for going into this. I think that my changes going forward too, I'm going to put 2 Chalices in the side deck. Chalice just negates Flying Sea. It's now a level 3 body, so they're facilitating the OTK now if they try and punish you by using it. So I think this card would just be very good in here. It also has some implications with the Fire and Ice hand, which are a big problem for your deck, especially because you're always going to want to have like Ticket or something in the back row and a monster in the front. So Chalice, you'd up the attack of the hands, so they actually end up beating over your monsters just so that they can't actually proc their effects. So niche interaction, I haven't really gotten to try it out much, but I think this card just in theory seems good, so I'll be trying it. And the other 2 cards I mentioned earlier, I'd be taking Compulse out for it. I'd be putting in 2 Fiendish Chain. I think my plan is to take it at 1 Breakthrough Skill, 1 Compulse. Have these in, same thing, it stops Flying Sea, it also stops hands. It's a negate against just Xyz monsters that could be a problem. It just seems like a pretty decent card, so. But yeah, that's about it for this deck. Thanks, guys. Kyle, any closing words?
So he was gonna drop round 1 because he was tilted, and then they didn't drop him, so he just played anyway and then won everything after that. So it was pretty funny.
Round 1, I decided to go for the Max T challenge. I went into battle phase and then realized I was off in my math by 400 life points, and I was so tilted I just didn't want to be there anymore. So it was against Evil Swarm. It was fine. It worked out. Still tilted about it. I did go for another Max T challenge later in the day against Lightsworn, and that time it worked, so at least I got a little bit of redemption there. But
I mean, I just think you take it most of the time because nobody's on Valor, like, at all. So you're just going to get crowed, maybe. Like, you get a lot of your crowable stuff out of the way before they draw a million cards off Max T.
The issue isn't the crow, it's still just the Flying Sea. Every time you give them a draw, it's just another chance for them to drop that on you, and then all of a sudden you can't play anymore.
Yeah.
Sea is just such a problem.
Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Have a nice day.